Well, here we are in the Ticker Tapes Archive Project with another clip. Today I have Julia Butterfly Hill speaking in Toronto at Car Free Day. Very excited to have spotted her on some of Tucker's tapes. I think it's from 2003. Keep an eye on the timer down below here for when those clips or whenever those clips start. First, a little bit of a preamble. It is October the 23rd, 2025. Being captured currently, tape number 77. The content you're about to see from Julia Butterfly Hill comes from tape 74. I've got 600 tapes to digitize, archive, pull clips from, and log. Hopefully in preparation to create one or more documentaries, but we're going to need your help on that. You can buy me a coffee to keep me going in the meantime. Keep some dollars rolling in. We're funded until about the end of November, so maybe 5-6 weeks from now. Funding to keep this project going. But we're going to need many more dollars to keep me employed and keep me on this task. So yeah, send the money. DM. Let's figure out how to get this funded. Maybe you're a professional fundraiser. Maybe you know some organizations that would fund archival projects like this that focus on Canadian history. Between the time about 1997 and 2004, we've got cities spanned. We got Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City, Halifax, The Hague, Washington, New York, Burlington, Vermont, San Francisco. That guy got around. So here he is. He's giving a talk in, I think he's in Quebec City or maybe Montreal. This is post Plan G action. So I think it's November the 16th of 1997. Him and Angela would soon be traveling to Kyoto to take part in the climate change conference. I believe it would be COP3 down in Kyoto, where the Kyoto Protocol was signed. So it's interesting, it's fun, it's taxing mentally. It takes a lot of work to get all this stuff together and organized. At any rate, thanks for watching. Send your comments, put down your likes, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those things, tell your friends. Let's get a lot of eyeballs on this. And please do let me know, is this worthwhile, or am I like the only person of two who thinks there's value in the Tucker tapes historically as an archive? Okay, peace out.
It can be frustrating, as many of you, I'm sure, would agree, to try to work for change in a city like this where the culture is often so strongly against you, where it's hard to get a word out to talk to people about community issues, where sometimes you kind of feel that what can small groups of people possibly do to change the world? And I try to recharge my batteries by talking with and spending time with people who work for change and who I guess keep the candle alive, the flame alive in times that seem dark. One of the people that inspires me is Julia Butterfly Hill, and she's the woman who spent over 2 years sitting in a tree, in a redwood tree, out of a sense of personal commitment and the commitment to work for change as an individual and with other people supporting her, but really her commitment helped to bring attention to the destruction of the California redwoods. And I'm very pleased that Julia's in Toronto with us today, and she spoke last night, and she's heading up to the Ohm Festival a little bit later on, but she's joining us today on our bike ride and in this rally, and I'd like to invite Julia up to say a few words.
So these things are really weird to me because it's just like, it's hard for me to talk to this, but first of all, for those of you who are here to participate in this bike ride, thanks so much for showing up and being a person who's willing to be a living example of, we have to talk so often about what's wrong, and so it's really important that we embody what's right. So thank you all for being here and being living examples of what's right. I'm joyfully car-free. I've been joyfully car-free for almost 10 years now. And I am truly joyfully car-free. And I think about things like the fact that the petroleum industry is based on a fuel that comes from an extinct species. And it makes me think, how profoundly ignorant are we as people? Like, there's a little message in there, those beings are extinct. maybe that means something for us. And yet we're addicted to a fuel that also is going to perpetuate our extinction as a species, because we couldn't learn enough from the species that is now, whose death is now supplying our fuel supply. I think about these kinds of solutions that exist, and as I walk around and ride my bike, I find how much more of a humane experience it is, and how it is through these humane experiences that our hope for our humanity exists. So for me, this bike ride and this action today is not only about calling on politicians to stop directing funding into very destructive practices, but to begin redirecting those funds into humanity and into creating a more humane world. Because the car culture is not humane. It disconnects people from each other, and it creates a sense of disconnection from the world. And for some of us, I was involved in a very serious car wreck in August of '96 that almost killed me. And so there is that further disconnection of we get behind the wheel and all of a sudden we're invincible and can run over anybody in our path. So there's such a long list of reasons why it's so important to have cultures that are more humane, and the work that I've done in Europe has really inspired me by that. The incredible public transportation and bicycling systems and walking systems where people are really nice to each other because they're out with each other all the time. So today, to me, is not only about calling on this government to step up its commitment, but it's also a celebration of humanity and celebration of those of us who are willing to be living examples of what a healthy, humane world looks like. So thank you so much for being here, for being a part of that change.
Thank you, Julia. I think now we'll get on our bikes and our blades and our feet, and we're going to head over to the Front Street extension.
Pave paradise, put up a parking lot. Thank you.
Because the parking lots are so much more interesting than nature. Nature's wild. We must